Yes, it's a Paul Mozina.
Paul, yes, go ahead.
All right, Paul, you should be able to unmute.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to address you. And I did want to point out that the premise of your discussion seems to be the assumption that a positive PCR test is a case and therefore an area of concern, possibly requiring contact tracing and so forth. And I don't know if you all are aware of the fact that CDC Director Rochelle Walensky just said that, quote, "We know that PCR testing would not be helpful in this setting as people can remain PCR positive for up to 12 weeks after infection and long after they are transmissible and infectious. We also don't know that antigen tests give a good indication of transmissibility at this stage of infection." And so I really call into question the whole idea that you're equating a positive PCR test with a quote case in the absence of any clinical indication of symptoms or anything. It has led us down a fallacious path from the very beginning of this pandemic. And so I would ask you to reconsider your focus on PCR testing, and the fear mongering about Omicron has driven the intensity of testing. So of course you're getting more positive tests because people are flooding the testing centers, and the tests themselves may actually be reporting an infection that was 12 weeks ago. Do you see how this is? You're creating, you're driving this your actions in response to signals that are not accurate. And I would ask you to refocus your attention on promoting prophylactic treatments in the community, such as nasal and oral pharynx cleansing with povidone iodine and nasal rinses, addressing comorbidities in the community like obesity and smoking, and then promulgating coherent healthcare practices that are proven treatments for COVID. We know the progression of COVID. It begins with viral replication, it proceeds to inflammation, and then to blood clotting. Doctors know how to treat this. There is a prevailing therapeutic nihilism where the medical community is pretending that they have never seen any of this before. And they have seen it, and there are proven peer-reviewed studies showing that ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine and corticosteroids and blood thinners, it's called a sequential multi-drug therapy. These are proven. People are being saved all over the country. There are studies showing that over 500, they estimate that 500,000 people have died unnecessarily because health authorities are refusing to roll out and promote proven peer-reviewed studies and proven treatments that have been shown to be efficacious. And I ask the county and all the municipalities to reorient your focus away from this fixation on false positive PCR tests and refocus your priorities on promulgating coherent, efficacious, proactive treatment programs. That is the only way we are going to stop the spread of this virus. And I thank you for your time. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Mozina. Thanks for your input, your comments this afternoon.